I'm not gonna lie, okay, don't get mad. The Mustang, it hasn't been getting the attention that it really deserves. It's starting to get cold out. As you recall, we don't have a heater. It's just not very comfortable to drive, but it is comfortable, kind of to work on at least. This is a 2000 Mustang GT. We have a lot done to it. Has the Cobra bumper, the Terminator Cobra bumper, and no fog lights. Today, we're gonna fix that. Without further ado, thank you so much for joining me today. My name's Ethan. Welcome to the garage. So I've been waiting so long to get a set of fog lights for my Mustang. So we're actually doing something kind of different with these. Now, I did a lot of looking on the forums trying to figure out what to get. Now, I could just get regular 03 to 04 Cobra fog lights and everything would be fine, but just so happens that Jeep fog lights, from what I've heard, are the same size. So my cousin Sean had these just laying around and I asked if I could have them, and we could. So I got the cheapest bezels I could find on eBay, and we're gonna rock these bad boys. So these bezels were $17 on the Evil Bay, and they just slide right on in there, and the fog lights go there. We're gonna go ahead and pop the front bumper off. Now, technically, if you have all the wires ready, you know everything's good to go, I think you can do this without popping the bumper off. But in our case, I really don't know the situation and the quality of wiring going on under there for the fog lights, if it's even there anymore. So we're gonna pop the bumper off so we can take a look under there, lay our retinas on that, and just see what we're working with. And we're gonna wire the lights in, probably hardwire. I'm gonna see if these things actually work. I have no clue. Taking the bumper off reminds me of all the things we need to do to this car. There has been a lot on the list for a long time, starting with these wheel well liners. We've got new ones sitting right over there. And by new, I don't mean new, just new to us, in good shape though. And also we have this bumper isolator pad. I actually don't know if this is gonna work with the Cobra bumper. We're gonna experiment. I wanna put this in there. We'll trim it up if we have to for safety, and it makes the bumper a little sturdier. But back to the video. Now that we have the bumper off, we have access to under there, we can look for the wire. So I know there is wiring right here. What this goes to, I have no clue. So we're gonna get in here, we're gonna test these wires on both sides, see when they turn on, see what turns them on. Hopefully that's for fog lights. That makes our job so much easier. So with these fog lights, it's gonna be a little trickier, I believe. So you see we have the plug here with positive and negative. We also have this one, if I'm correct. This is daytime running lights, and this is the actual light in there itself. So we're gonna have to do some finagling there. From the looks of this wiring, I think these are gonna be fog lights, and I also think that there was at one point a different kind of fog light in here, because this is interesting. I mean, I'm not surprised. I've come to expect this. If you get a Mustang, it's kind of a fixer-upper like this one is and was. Number one, thank you. You're doing a service to the car community. Number two, you just gotta expect some weird things to be going on. So we're just gonna do the right thing and fix that problem and just cut these bad boys off. And then we can test these wires, see where the power's coming from. The quick rundown on how to test this stuff to see where power's coming from. So we have our nifty test light here. So I already tested this wire. It doesn't turn on with either the running lights or the headlights. Don't know if there's another switch in there. The ground wire though, what we can do to see if this is a good ground, click your test light, hook it up to the positive battery terminal. Then we can come down here, plug it in to the ground wire with fingers that work, and the light goes off. That's how you know you have a complete circuit there. So at least we know we have a ground wire that goes to something. The power wire, we're gonna have to do some digging, some research, because honestly, I ain't got a clue what that's connected to. Thankfully, with the test light, all this diagnosing took really no time at all. I can confirm that these wires are indeed fog lights, and I'll show you how I did that. First off, fog lights will not turn on unless you at least have running lights on. So turn those bad boys on, and on a 2000 to 2002, I believe, the switch is gonna be right here. So fog light switch on, running lights on, and then we'll go look at the test light. Now we have the test light hooked up to our negative terminal like we usually do, and we can come to our power wire, and bada bing, bada boom, baby. The bezels themselves fit pretty well, and they just go in with a screw there and a screw there. The fog light, though, you can see it's not gonna line up to any of the holes. I think we have a solution, though. What we're gonna do to combat this is take the bezel, widen this out just a little bit, not much, just so these can fit comfortably in there to give us a little more room. We're gonna get a sheet of ABS plastic. We're gonna cut it out with a pattern for this and a pattern for these so we can connect everything mostly securely. I have the sheet of ABS plastic that I actually use for the interior of the Mustang, and I think this is gonna work great for making our fog light bracket to line up these holes with the holes on the fog light. Also, you can see the lights do need to be resurfaced. We're gonna take care of that. We're gonna sand them down, put a new layer of protectant on there, just so these things last a while. The plan of attack to make this all work seamlessly on the first try or the third try, we're gonna grab the little Milwaukee, you know, the thing I'm talking about. We're gonna wallow this out a little bit, put this in so we can get a good solid, stencil, so we can get a good solid template for the fog lights. Get this thing in there. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. It's gonna work. The light is taped in place right now, pretty much exactly where it needs to be. We're gonna use these little pieces of plastic as brackets in there. Mark where we need to drill holes. This honestly is so much easier. Hopefully it works just as well. We'll give it a test on this light, and if it works well, we'll go ahead and do it on the other one. I've done a little bit of experimenting. I gotta say, I'm honestly pretty dang impressed. So we kind of built all the little bracket pieces for this side. So we got 4 of them down there. All we needed was some screws, some these bad boys, just like self-tappers. They go in there into the plastic of the actual bumper, and then some screws to connect the light. And it is, I mean, it's really, really sturdy. Before I forget, this ABS plastic, I just got it on Amazon. I think it was like 10 bucks, something like that. It's really cheap. This stuff has proved to be useful many a times. Now that we have that done and we figured out the bracket situation, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna make the bracket for this side over here. We're gonna do the same process. I'll walk you all through it, show you how I'm doing it so you kind of get an idea of what the whole situation is here. Once we get that done, we're gonna go ahead, hit these with some sandpaper, wet sand these bad boys, and put a coating on them to make them look nice and new again. Then, finally, we're gonna get to wiring. The whole wiring situation, honestly, it's not gonna be difficult. The DRLs, we're just gonna wire those to the parking lights. I'll show you all how I do that. It shouldn't be a really big deal, but we're gonna catch that tomorrow. It's getting late, it's getting cold. I need some sleep. It's a new day, and I gotta say I am super, super motivated. And the good news is it's not cold at all. Not at all. Cold's not gonna stop us. We're gonna get back to work on the bumper. We only have to build another bracket and clean the lights up. So we're getting really close. Gosh, in the daylight, these are gonna look so, so cool. So the way this is sitting, it's not even going really into the bezel at all. So I'm not gonna really worry about trimming this side up. I'm just gonna put it in. We're gonna see how it looks. I think it'll be just fine. We're getting really close. We're making good progress. We're gonna go and hop to it though because it's 27 degrees and my hands are just cold. For building these brackets right here, I just cut out this little section of the ABS plastic. We're drilling a hole large enough to fit these screws. So we're gonna put this in the vise, drill a hole, put it in the holes in here, and then kind of mark up where we need to drill second holes to match these. Just like that, we are all set. So we're missing one bolt for this bracket. We'll go to the store and get it. No big deal, but it is all secured and tightened in. We just want to test fit it, make sure it's good before we do any more work. The brackets are done. That was the big job. Now we can kind of breathe a sigh of relief now. We're gonna take everything off so we can clean up the surface of the lights themselves, sand them down, make them look pretty much brand new. Then we're gonna head over to wiring on the Mustang. Really isn't gonna be that long. It shouldn't be that complicated. I'll walk y'all through the process. When we're finally done, we can put everything back on. Then that's good to us because it's Christmas time. Merry Christmas, guys. Merry Christmas. We're just gonna be using this headlight lens restorer kit that I actually had for the headlights of the Mustang, which I need to do more work on. They're looking okay still, but we're gonna use this quick and simple. We're just gonna grab the lights. Shouldn't take too long. So this is the before of the light I haven't done. If you can see, there's a whole bunch of scratches and stuff. It's a Jeep light. And this one, it's not perfect, but it is so much clearer. So a very, very good transformation. We're gonna go ahead and knock this one out. If you want to see the full process, go check out the video I did on restoring the Mustang headlights. I'll link it down below. With that, I go through the whole process, start to finish, on how we did this. The fog lights themselves are at a spot where we're pretty much done. We got a protective coating on there, so they're ready to go in the car. Now all that's left is wiring, which is kind of the fun part. So right in here, I already got the harness extended. We're gonna go ahead and put the heat gun on this. We got some shrink wrap on there. It's always a good idea to use this stuff just to protect your connections. And this really extends the harness, and we got an actual clip on there, which is really nice, super easy and super clean. For the DRL, we are connecting it to the parking lights, these boys right here. So with the test light, I've determined that it's this wire right here that has power. We're gonna tap into it, run a wire down here alongside, right down to here for the daytime running light. All right, that wire is spliced in place right here. We are gonna cover that, make it look all pretty, but figured we might as well go ahead and test the fog light out before we install everything. So first, the daytime running lights, which are connected to the fog lights, supposedly. So we should have some light. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Now we'll go ahead and turn on the actual fog lights themselves with that switch. And now we should have the full effect. We are in business. Let's go. So now that we know we are in the clear, we're gonna fancy this up, put everything back together, make it look good again, and then we can start installing everything in the bumper for the last time and put it on the car, see how she looks. Well, hey, the wiring is done, and the good news is it only took about 4.5 hours, so we're doing really nice. Obviously, I'm kidding. It took about 15-20 minutes, and we have this nice-ish harness. And the other side is just the same. This side, it's a little bit different because of where we had to tap into, because the air filter is right up there, but we got it done just the same. The fog lights are secured in the bumper, and I gotta say, I'm super, super happy with how it turned out, and very, very secure. Both of these turned out really nice. There's no movement in the fog lights at all. I think these will hold up very nicely. We're also gonna try to put this isolator thing in there. Don't know if it'll work because this is a Cobra bumper. We'll find out together though. Well, would you look at that? We got everything put back together with the isolator pad, which I wasn't expecting, but I'm super glad it fit. I gotta run a few errands actually, so we're gonna take the Mustang, we're gonna film it so I can show you guys how it looks. I know it kind of snaked y'all by not having the lights on, but don't worry, it's gonna be really cool. Of all the stores I thought I'd end up in, it's not here. This is only awkward if you make it awkward. If you want to know why I got a tiny sombrero, head over my Instagram page. Gosh, those fog lights though look so good. I cannot get enough of how dang good these fog lights look. I wasn't sure about the halos at first, but now, yeah, I dig them. Once we get new headlights that also have a daytime running light, the fog lights are really gonna fit in and look super, super good. Right now, the headlights, you know, they need some work. I really hope you enjoyed today's video about how we did this whole fog light install. This was definitely a fun project, not too difficult, a little bit time consuming, but overall, definitely worth it. If you have any questions about how we did this, how we got the Mustang to look like this, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Happy to answer your question. It really just completes the look of the front end of the car, not having those empty holes there. Now we might just need to add that little grill there. We need the little insert for right in here, and where the badge was, and then the front end will really be done. And if you've been watching for a while, I think it was Save the Stang episode 5, the Cobra Terminator hood, we still have it, don't worry. hopefully soon in the new year, early on, we'll be able to get that wrapped, installed, hood pins, all that. Just kind of had to be put on the back burner for a while. Now, I'll be honest with you, I am running about 3 hours late for going back home, actually, for Christmas. So, Mom, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But with that, we really, really have to end. I hope I earned your subscription today. I'm so happy to have you here. Have a wonderful Christmas, a very Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. I will see you again on YouTube before the new year. I know we kind of got sparse, but we're back to regular. Don't worry. As always, y'all keep it classy when you're out there changing the world like I know you will. And until next time, I'll catch y'all really soon. It's dead. It's dead. I know. A failure. I guess having your fog lights on for forever, I'm gonna kill it. Yeah. And note to self: don't bring the camera into Hobby Lobby. It's awkward.